Hey guys, it's Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another reaction video. You can see this big smile on my face right now because for once I am crazy excited to do a reaction to this video. So excited, in fact, I took notes. Now you reaction purists out there might be like, but Mike, how is it all this reaction if you took notes? Think of it not as a reaction of the shitty thing that's clouding most of YouTube, but more in the sense that punk rock was a reaction to progressive rock, which was a reaction to rock and roll. It's that kind of reaction. So anyway, I'm doing another video on Samurai Guitarist. Now, Samurai Guitarist did a video on the music industry, and I went through some of those points and said where I agreed, said where I wanted to fine-tune things a little bit. I'm about to do that again here. And we are touching on one of my favorite topics, good music versus bad music. This is what separates the flower children and the musical metalhead shithead elitists. Just being honest, I definitely lean more towards the elitist side, but I would not call myself a purist musical elitist or whatever. Anyways, let's get started.
Duke Ellington famously said, there are simply two kinds of music, good music and the other kind.
That's because Duke Ellington was the shit.
There's also a difference between something I may consider bad and something I dislike. For example, I'm not a huge fan of Nirvana, and to some of you, that might be absolute blasphemy.
Yes! Is this something you and I can absolutely agree upon, man? To that point, yes, art is subjective, and there is a difference between something you don't like and something that's really just bad. But I'll jump into that point a little more later in the video.
And wouldn't it be nice if we wrapped it up there?
Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up? Sorry, that's what I hear every time I hear someone say, wouldn't it be nice?
Easy, uncontroversial. But we're not going to, because there are some musical things that I straight up dislike and can find no redeeming qualities in.
Damn straight, dude. If there's one thing that I do well, it is voicing my controversial opinions. And subsequently have every fangirl and fanboy, the tall and the small, explain to me how I should die. I will definitely agree there is absolutely music that does not have any redeeming qualities whatsoever. I would even go so far as to say it may have some redeeming qualities, but not enough to really redeem it. Ergo, it's bad.
But enough beating around the bush.
Giggity.
The biggest characteristic to me is when a musician's attempt at something falls especially short because of a lack of skill.
This is the easiest example, and it's always the first one that I cite when I have people telling me, oh, there's no such thing as good music and bad music. It is point number one in the attempt to prove a certain objective measurement of a song's goodness or badness, if you will.
An example would be if I were to go to a karaoke bar and try to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. It would be bad.
You should come to Nashville and sing Bohemian Rhapsody with me at a karaoke bar, because I can actually do it pretty well. And the two of us together will wind up being mediocre, my friend.
And to me, that's one of the deadly musical sins. Thou shalt not serve anything but the song. Actually, that might be a commandment. I've taken backlash for this before, but I'll say it again, I stand behind it. Ringo Starr is a great musician.
Okay, so let's touch on that for a second. To his point, yes, serving the song is numero uno. Plain and freaking simple. I said in my RHCP video that I really don't get why people are so in love with the Scar Tissue solo, let alone why it was voted in the top 100 guitar solos of all time by Rolling Stone. I mean, I just don't consider it a guitar solo. But that guitar part serves the song damn well. Very well. Saying it's not the best does not diminish it. It did its part in the song. Same way as Ringo did. Now, before I push back on his comparison of Ringo Starr and a good musician, I will say that Ringo Starr's parts fit the Beatles perfectly, without a doubt in my mind. But if you have watched my Songwriters Are Not Musicians video and see how I have defined these terms, I would say that Ringo is a better drum writer than a drum musician, if that makes sense. But at this point, I'm just playing semantics. The spirit of what he's saying is absolutely correct.
Here's another thing that really bugs me. The bad ripoffs. And I should say that what gets to me is when someone tries to be something they aren't, or tries to sell something they don't believe in.
He is spot on here, but I would pose one question to you, Sensei. What if they are selling something they do believe in, but what they're selling is bad? i.e. the immaturity of many of our pop queens and their unhealthy view of relationships, or much of trap rap's idolatry of money, fame, promiscuity, and misogyny. Just a thought.
The cheap ripoffs, more often than not, are just trying to capitalize on a trend. I can think of some especially bad offenders of this. I'm not going to mention specific names. Let's just say when mainstream country is bad, it's real bad.
I wish I could give you a hug through this screen right now, you beautiful man. I have been quoted as saying that country music is the McDonald's of the music world. And I still, for the most part, with exceptions of bluegrass and progressive bluegrass and even some of the more technical stuff that he does, I would still stick by that. If you guys want to hear a man shred up some country twang blues on a hockey stick guitar, go to this video in the description. Watch this awesome man frickin' shred it up.
And if you guys aren't sick of the Larry David-esque rant that this video has become, I'm gonna mention one more thing that gets to me. Lazy songwriting. You kinda just know it when you hear it, when it seems like a writer went with the first thing that came to their mind. There's minimal thought or cleverness.
Yes, and this is most people's chief complaint with pop music. There is a ton of it that falls into that category, though I would say some of it can be argued. And a lot of times, simplicity can be mistaken for not having a lot of thought put into it. But I will address simplicity here in a minute.
Here's the good news though, there is an abundance of great music out there, and it's never been as accessible as it is right now.
Oh, samurai guitarist, you always have to end things on a positive note, don't you? Proof that you need more progressive metal in your life, sir. So here's the thing that you didn't touch on, but that I would say maybe even more important than the points that you put into this video. And keeping in mind, this is just a theory, but I would definitely be willing to debate it in the future. I apparently am the only one I know that separates lyrics from music. When I think music, I think sound. No semanticism, no concrete meaning. What if the music and lyrics, digested by the masses, adversely affected their cognition, influencing them to think less or even just think more self-centered, or using both of those tactics? Thinking less comprehensively to disguise narcissism behind a shade of unity and fairness. Or simply not analyzing something, taking things for granted and expecting to be spoon-fed your message. If it sounds like I'm only talking about the lyrics, you're only half right. As Victor Wooten says, music is also a language. Now, to counterpoint the happy note that you landed on, I'll end it on this note. Just remember that the fall of Rome was preluded by decadence and idolatry. So those are my thoughts on this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. If you liked it, please leave a like. Samurai Guitarist, if you are coming to Nashville this summer, please hit me up, man. Shoot me a tweet or whatever, and let's grab some tea, dude. That'd be awesome. If you guys are not subscribed to Samurai Guitarist, please go do so. His videos are absolutely excellent, especially for you budding musicians in my audience. He has fantastic lessons, especially for that early stage. He has a great way of explaining it so people get it. Not to mention, he has really cool videos like these where he explores some different topics and different music discussion. And if you want, just go ahead and tweet at him to come on my show, you know, no big deal. If you guys like, you can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. If you are a super awesome person, you can run over to my Patreon page. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!